I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired.
I was whiteballed by some black who had no balls. Thank you, Mr. Lee Daniels. Thank you, Mr. Tyler Perry. Thank you, Miss Oprah Winfrey. No, baby, I wasn't blackballed. I was up by some who had no balls. And see, I know they like to say, Monique, you talk too much. It would kill me not to say the real shit. It would kill me not to say the real shit. You are not paying me equally. You are not treating me fairly. So y'all can suck my if I had one.
There should be some kind of sanctions against that place until they make some type of change. You can't take the vertebrae out of your back just to fit inside of someone's ceiling. Mm-hmm. You have to stand up full and proud. Stand up.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired I was white bee by some black who had no balls. Thank you, Mr. Lee Daniels. Applause. Thank you, Mr. Winf. No baby. Wasn't blackball I was up by some who had no balls. And see, I know they like to say moan you talk to mother much. It would kill me not to say the real. It would kill me. Not to say the real. You are not paying me. Equally, you ought not treat me fairly, so y'all can suck my. If I had one, there should be some kind of sanctions against that place. Until they make they make some type of change. You can't take the vertebrae out of your back. Just to fit inside of someone's ceiling, you have to stand up full and proud, stand up, erect. It looks like Terrence Howard is joining the list of celebs who are exposing the evils of the industry. We all know how people like C. Williams, Dave Chappelle, and even Denzel Washington started exposing the higher-ups for emasculating black men by making them wear dresses and underpaying black actresses while putting them into horrible working conditions. Martin tried to put me in my first dress when he had to go on his hiatus. He tell me, Kat, when I come back, I need you, you're my young partner, you're my brother in comedy when I come back. Just promise me that my next movie it'll be me. And you, we going to do it together. And now it seems like Terrence has decided it's enough, he's going on a rampage to call out people like Oprah, Tyler Perry, and so many more for whiteballing so many actresses in the industry. He especially came forward to defend someone who has a special place in his heart, fellow Empire co-star Taiji P. Henson. You are truly amazing, you told me that I reminded you of someone, your father. I wish he could be here to see you today. And if I could be so bold as to speak for him. Listen to me, TJ. You have made my heart glad after working on countless seasons with Tara. Terrence can no longer just stand by and watch the absolutely horrible positions Taraji is put in by her peers time and time again. So he's decided to take a stand against all the wrongdoings that have been going on in Hollywood. Now, before diving into that, let's go to the root that started this whole fiasco, Oprah Winfrey's role in The Color Purple. We all know that Oprah was previously trending and promoting her latest film, The Color Purple. On the front, it looked like Oprah was championing herself for doing something big for her community by providing mainstream jobs to a struggling black community that is so undermined in the industry. But soon the facade shattered as the actresses working on the film revealed what took place behind the scenes. On the front lines was Tat P. Henson's, who was the first one to expose the dark truth that the black community is not paid fairly for the films they create. During an interview with Gayle King, she revealed she has been in the industry for 20+ years and is no step further than when she began for every new job that comes along. She needs to plead her case and fight for an even half-decent pay to make it worthwhile. She fights and fights for herself and her fellow sisters. But industry giants like Oprah come along and essentially determine their worth, knowing they have to take the job to make ends meet. It seems every time I do something, and I break another glass ceiling when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again, like I never did. What I just did, and I'm just tired, I'm tired. I get that it wears on you. You know, cuz what does that mean? What is that telling me? And if I can't fight for them coming up behind me, then what the am I doing? I'm sorry, yeah. Taji courageously explained that in reality. Whenever an actor is paid a big amount of the money, first goes into paying the team that works behind the scenes. And after all expenses are finally taken care of, usually less than half, is what's left over Taraj. Its expose highlighted how difficult it is for a black entertainer to survive when the people at the top do their best to undermine and keep them at a level that is no further than when they started. She shocked the world by admitting that although she has been working on numerous big projects, her monetary situation did not reflect it at all in a vulnerable moment. Tara G revealed that no matter how well her projects sell, she always has to fight for a slight increase in her pay despite all the accolades she has accumulated over the years. The Empire actress revealed that the higher-ups refused to give her fair pay and play the movies internationally because there was simply no budget left to accommodate translations of the movie. Now that seems quite rich coming from the same people that probably made some real bank off a project that would be nothing if the actors hadn't worked their off to make the project hold. You see, although acting plays a vital role in a show's popularity, it is the marketing that pitches the product to the public. But rather than taking a logical approach, they just pinned the blame on her for something that was out of her control. Although Taraji has been in the industry for 25 years, starring in multiple shows and movies, she has yet to receive fair pay, which now raises the question what other injustices they had to face behind the scenes. Interestingly, the film Color Purple had a staggering budget of $100 million. But despite that, the higher-ups couldn't give proper living conditions to the performers. Yes, he that right, on top of not paying the actresses enough, they couldn't even prove them with living conditions. During the filming, Taraji once again came forward to paint a vivid picture of the things they had to endure while working under Oprah Winfrey. She's talking about bad working conditions, no security or driver to bring them to and back from set, and barely any breaks or food. The list goes on and on. In a recent interview with the New York Times, Taraji claimed that a lot of the stuff she and her co-stars got on that set was solely because she fought for it behind the scenes. One such example was rides and security to the film's Atlanta set, as the production allegedly offered the cast rental cars at first and expected the actors to drive themselves to the set. Keep in mind, the work days on set sometimes lasted up to 12 to 15 hours and required the actors to drive home late at night, which is a safety hazard in itself. They gave us renta cars and I was like, I can't drive myself to set in Atlanta. This is insurance liability. It's dangerous now. They robbing people. What do I look like taking myself to work by myself in a rental car? So I was like, can I get a driver or security to take me? I'm not asking for the moon. They're like, well, if we do it for you, we got to do it for everybody. Well, do it for everybody. Now that's not all. Taraji explained that she had to fight for a new trailer, as all the trailers were infested with bugs. A drive wasn't the only thing Henson had to speak up to get on the Color Purple set during a recent Q. And for the film presented by Danielle Brooks, revealed the actors did not initially get their own dressing rooms when they showed up for rehearsals, nor was food provided to them at that time. Henson contacted producer Oprah to correct this. Brooks called Henson a guide and their voice box on set. Just have someone just be a guide for us. Be our voice box. I remember when we first came in and we were doing rehearsal and they put us all in the same space, like we didn't have our own dressing rooms at the time. And they did not give us sorry miss, we have no food. She had no idea. No going. I heard about it. And you corrected it? I corrected, didn't I call you? Yes. And I was like, miss, oh, we got to fix this. And she said, say less. And wasn't not. And that's what I appreciated. Though you were our voice, because a lot of times, yes, I've done a lot of TV. I've done a lot of films, specifically independent films, but this is my first studio film, so sometimes you do come in just saying, okay. Well, I'm going just take whatever they give me. I'm just happy to be here. You know, but you spoke up for us no matter how you look at it. The actresses boldly revealed Oprah's true face then and there, and it certainly looks like Oprah tried to cover herself by claiming that she had no idea, not that anybody believed it. It is important to note that Henson, who scored 2 Emmy nominations for her leading role in Fox's Empire and an Oscar nomination for The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, has long spoken of experiencing pay inequality in Hollywood. She told Variety in 2019 that she was first offered $100,000 to star in Benjamin Button, despite asking for $500,000 as number 3 on the call sheet in the David Fincher film that co-starred Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. She said she negotiated her salary up to $150,000. But after taxes and paying her team, she said she only pocketed about $40,000 from the origin. Now $150K. Now, thanks to Taraji's claims, this issue has gained traction by a wider audience, including none other than her Empire co-star Terrence Howard. Black people, you know we need to communicate with each other, so nobody can pit us against each other. If you get a call like what I love about what chicks do chicks in his social media, you know, hey, they'll reach out to each other and be like, hey, your man, kind of said what's up to me earlier today, are y'all still together, or whatever, You know chicks do that. This burst has led people to realize that this is not the first time Black celebrities have raised their voices against Hollywood. A case in point is Viola Davis. She said in an interview that even though she has a string of accolades in her resume, she is still not paid the same salary as some of her fellow white actors. They all came out of Yale. They came out of Juilliard. They came out of NYU. They had the same path as me, and yet I am nowhere near them, not as far as money.